Before we get into this week's podcast, head over to elevatortothetop.com. That's my best-selling sales book, and you can get my book absolutely free. Like, no joke, no gimmick, no nothing. Just go over there, sign up, pay shipping and handling. I'll send the book right to your doorstep. Again, go over to elevatortothetop.com, grab your free copy of my book, and after you get done reading it, make sure you leave me a review on Amazon because every little bit helps. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Stewman, founder, creator of Break Free Academy and HardcoreCloser.com. And this podcast is all about helping you, the sales professional, close more deals. Listen, if you're selling cars, homes, financial services, investing, consulting, coaching, whatever it is that you're selling, this podcast and the information therein, look at me sounding all smart, the information therein is dedicated to helping you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so that you can get paid what you're worth, baby. Hey, welcome to episode number 40 of THC Podcast, and I'm glad you're here, especially if it's your first time. First of all, if it's your first time here, thank whoever invited you because they thought enough about you to bring you to our show here. And if it was me, like virtual high five, like right now, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. But look, while you're here, be sure you check out the other previous episodes. There's at least, depending on when you are arriving in the future or whatever, there is at least 39 other episodes of this show as well. So make sure you check those out. And listen, I need a favor, especially from those of you, mandatory, from those of you who are longtime listeners. I need reviews on iTunes because here's the thing. It's not about some ego. I want to be the number one thing on iTunes. Like, that's all fine and dandy, and fame sometimes is a byproduct of your passion. But here's the thing. I need to reach 300 million salespeople. And I want to help them increase the quality of their life by giving them free books, by allowing them to know about this podcast, which is absolutely free, so that they can increase the quality of their life, so that they can learn through my personal experiences and the things that I've had to go through and endure. And I need your help. In order to be able to do that, we got to grow this following. First of all, inviting people here is great. But one thing we can do together that only takes a couple seconds is go leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Because here's the thing. The more of you that listen to this, the more of you that leave me 5-star reviews over on iTunes, the more iTunes shows it in their top news feed, the more people see it, the more salespeople we can reach, the more lives we can change, the closer I can get to my 300 million person goal. Thank you, right? Thank you in advance for doing that. 5 stars over on iTunes like this right here. We've got my boy, Iron Salesman. I like that shit. I wonder what he sells. Iron Sales, just like the Iron Sheik. Robert, he's into some wet wrestling shit. He always into. So like Iron Salesman. Does he sell cars? Right? It could be that. Does he? Is he friends with Tony Stark? Right? Maybe he sells Iron Man. Maybe he's like Iron Man, but Iron Salesman. But anyway, he's like 5 stars here. He says, "Get with the times." Not the New York Times either. He says, I came across Ryan's podcast about a month ago, and since that time, I've used his tips and advice for texting and social media. I've seen a dramatic increase in sales. Dramatic. Cue scary music. Dun, dun, dun. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Iron Salesman. I imagine that's just a cool last name, right? Like, I am Iron Salesman. It's like the robots are coming, motherfuckers, and here's one of them. It's already given me 5-star reviews on my podcast. That's the conspiracy around here, that robots are going to take our jobs, man. Right. All right. All ADD aside for at least a minute here, let's jump into the episode. This episode is going to be the top 6 reasons you're losing sales. Like, some of you guys are going to feel like it just kicked you in the nuts. I'm going to drop some truth bombs on you that are going to hurt some of your feelings. It's inevitable. That's kind of part of my job, is to say stuff that pisses you off, because it challenges your ability to stay comfortable in your own echo chamber. But if you'll just put emotion to rest and set emotions aside and just intellectually process what I'm going to say today, it could very well help you increase your closing ratio, which is my goal. I want to help 300 million salespeople make more money. Whether I get paid from that or not, my payment will simply be a byproduct of my ability to affect people like yourselves' lives. And so today I'm going to say some stuff that might challenge the status quo. It might piss you off. It might make you a little angry at me, but I just ask you to intellectually process it, not emotionally process it, because it will do you some good. Listen, when I started off in sales, I didn't really other than like books and stuff like that. Podcasts didn't exist. Hell, YouTube wasn't even around. And you had to know somebody who knew somebody to get on a list to get like a copy of Zig Ziglar's tapes. Like back in the day, we didn't have the internet. You didn't just go to Google and you like type in Zig Ziglar and boom, there's all this stuff. You had to know what Nightingale Conant was, and you had to know somebody who knew what Nightingale Conant was so that you could even figure out where they were at, because like the phone book was all you relied on. Dude, getting your hands on information like you have such easy access today is like, I mean, it is a game changer for salespeople. But when I started, I didn't have anybody like me that I could listen to. Because the first time I listened to Zig Ziglar cassette, like you listen to two sides. For those of you that don't know, a cassette is like this little thing you put in what's called a tape deck that played music. This is prior to iPods. And so like I listened to cassette. Cassettes only had two sides, the A side and the B side. And once you were done, like that's it. There was no more information coming your way. It wasn't a weekly subscription or anything like that. So my goal for this show is to be able to help the modern salesperson get the training that I didn't get, to be able to skip the steps that I had to go through, for you guys to be able to get on the elevator to the top while I took the damn stairs. So let's get into it. Number one, you talk too much. This is the number one reason that sales are blown. Let that process for a minute. You see, our divine creator gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. And that's really a signature of how we're supposed to live. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, but that is the universe telling us how we are supposed to be. We are supposed to hear and listen twice as much as we speak. If not, we would have 2 mouths and 1 ear. Think about that for a second. But yet, salespeople, hey, I'm talking to myself here too sometimes, right? We hate silence. Matter of fact, see, that shit was weird, wasn't it? Right. You got a little fucking nervous there, didn't you? And I'm not even trying to sell you anything here. Silence is weird. I know Robert was panicking like, oh shit, did we lose him? Is he still there? Right. We fucking hate silence. So we choose to be the person, because we're authoritative. We like to give direction. We like to be the leader in a relationship because that's our job, is to be the alpha and the leader to close people. So we like to fill the time talking. When I was a car salesman for a brief period of time, I practiced the listening a lot more than I talked. But I still wanted to talk, man. I felt like I had so much inside of me that I wanted to say. But I mean, it was like I was boiling over, but I was really good at listening to people as well. And listening, whether you mean it or not, but if you're intentionally listening, that also shows empathy, which people appreciate. Not sympathy, empathy, like you understand and empathize with their perspective or their problem or whatever. But I started a podcast when I was at the dealership, right? I was like, man, I still need to talk. And now I got to shut up all the time. I'm making a bunch of money by shutting up. I still need to talk. So I started a podcast and I started talking about sales in the podcast. And it's morphed over to this that you're listening to today. Obviously, that was back in 2011. But most salespeople will talk themselves out of sales. Think about this. Have you seen a salesperson, like especially for those of you in management, have you seen a salesperson talk themselves out of a sale? You're like, he had him. Oh, he got him. It's a deal. It's a done deal. Oh, no. Oh, shit. He's still talking. No! Dude, we've seen guys do this blowing dates, right? Like he already had her and then he's still saying some dumb shit. It's only getting worse. Right? Like we think we can talk ourselves out of anything when really if we'll just shut the fuck up, we'll oftentimes win sales. I don't know who it is that said this. I didn't coin this quote, but it was like, better to remain silent and people think you're a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. And I believe Benjamin Franklin said, it doesn't matter who the hell said it. It's important. And so here's the thing, start listening. And you might think, well, what if they don't talk? What if I've got really quiet prospects, really quiet clients that don't talk? It's my job to fill that silence. First of all, my friend, get comfortable with silence. There's nothing wrong with it. And sometimes your prospect actually appreciates it. You don't always have to be the super fast, active person. The second thing is learn to ask questions, and not just any rhetorical dumbass question. Ask real questions. You see, the way to get the prospect to talk so that you can shut up and listen, so that you appear empathetic whether you are or not. Don't be disingenuous, but whether you are or not, so that you can appear empathetic to them, is by simply asking questions and listening. You see, here's the thing. Most people's kids don't listen to them. Their employees don't listen to them. Their boss doesn't listen to them. Most of their clients don't listen to them. And I mean, think about it. Professionally, people pay a lot of money for someone to listen to them. They go to a therapist, or like I like to call them the rapist. If you look it down, it's the same fucking thing, same letters. You just put a space between the E and the R, and it's the same shit. Therapist, the rapist, they are raping your mind. Oh, they're putting it in there. Anyway, so here's the thing. People pay professionally for therapists to listen to them. And you get a chance to be that person that's like refreshing, because you're like, wow, this person actually gives a fuck. Most people don't want to hear my boring old stories over and over again. And so the way to shut up and use both of your ears and only the one mouth that you have is by simply asking effective questions. It will change the game. You see, oftentimes when people come through our sales training, they think, oh man, Stewman's going to teach me how to be a fast talking, fast walking. Because I say a lot of shit on this podcast, but I've got notes and all this stuff in front of me for this, right? This is a professionally done thing here, ladies and gentlemen, F-bombs included. But people, they expect me to teach them how to be like fast talker and smooth and all that. And I teach them how to be a good listener. That's the secret, you guys. People get on the phone with me. They hang up after they've paid for the program. They're excited about the program. They've listened to the first sales training in the program. They're like, damn it, that's how he got me. That shit really works. They have an epiphany. Like, oh shit, this dude's leading by example. And I know it worked because I'm smart and I got here. That's how you know it's good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, number 2, you're over-promising and they know it. They can smell the desperation. Man, if it's too good to be true, then it looks like a desperate move. I mean, think about it. There's a reason why, and I guess somebody does this every day, but there's a reason why when we get an email from the Nigerian prince, we're like, yeah, that sounds too good to be true. I just send you my bank number and you send me $1 million. Like, fuck it. Why wouldn't everybody do that? But it sounds too good to be true. They're over-promising us. However, if they were like, hey, man, I need to move like $1,500. You cool with that? That would probably work better because it's not over-promising millions and billions. You see the difference there? I am by no means at all, let me just clear this up, giving sales advice to Nigerian prince spammers on this show. If that is you, you are a fucking asshole, just so that we're clear on that. I'm just giving you a wild example. Okay, back to the show. So when you go and you make these outrageous promises, what happens is they know it. They're like, dude, this guy needs the sale or he wouldn't be saying all this stuff. You see, I've run into this a lot. I see salespeople making outrageous promises and I'm like, whether you could deliver on those or not, they're unbelievable. So people think there's like, yeah, but what? What's the catch? And so if you're able to deliver amazing, unfucking believable results, that's awesome. Good for you. Virtual high five. However, you can't really advertise those because let's get real, most people won't believe it. Like, for example, I've helped quite a few people earn 7 figures in 12 months, but that's not my advertisement because most people don't see themselves being able to do that. It's a little unbelievable. Let's just be real. We all say we want it, but most of us know what it takes to get it. We're not really willing to do it. And so I don't make that advertisement. I make advertisements for people who want to earn multiple 6 figures. And then I help them get to 7 figures. You see, that's the bait and switch. Damn it. You guys can be mad at me all you want. That's how we fucking get you. We bait and switch the shit out of you and you are doomed if you work with us. We're just baiting and switching people left and right over here. I know I'm not sorry. Damn it. I am not sorry at all. But again, I don't make that promise and I never will because look, it's easier to deliver a promise that is setting the bar low, but it is setting the bar high for the client. For me to tell somebody, for example, I can deliver, help you make multiple 6 figures in a year, that's setting the bar pretty low for the stuff that I know if the person will be an action taker. But for me saying I can help you get to 7 figures or multiple 7 figures in a year, man, that's setting the bar extremely high. That puts a big strain on me to deliver at that rate. And it also puts a big belief system in the person that's buying that because not many people believe that they're actually worth that. We're all damaged goods, ladies and gentlemen. So look, stop over-promising. Matter of fact, a good salesperson will sell mediocre promises and deliver phenomenal, super above average results. That's how you get referrals too, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, and this has a lot to do with the listening as well, is make it about them. One of the reasons number 3 reason you guys blow sales, because you make it about you and not them. The prospect don't give a fuck about you. You're just a salesperson. You guys do realize like the world doesn't have this great view of us. The best representation of a salesperson in recent Hollywood theatrical cinema is Tommy Boy. And it's considered a fucking comedy. When they make movies about sales guys, it's always a crook involved. I watched War Dogs this weekend. Great movie, by the way. You should check it out. War Dogs with Jonah Hill. But Jonah Hill, sales guy, sniffing coke, fucking banging hookers, ripping people off, got all greedy. I mean, dude, it's the same story over and over again. The public don't like us because the media is constantly talking shit about us. I mean, let's say the most popular salesperson in cinema history is Jordan Belfort. And I mean, think of the movies they make about the guy. They didn't choose to make movies about accomplishment or starting all over or getting his shit together or how he built the empire and analyzing that. They decided to build a story around him banging hookers and all that stuff. Like, these are the representations we have of us. So the people don't really give two shits about us. They think that we're all overpaid and we just do coke and bang hookers. And let's be real. That's only like 70% of us. I'm just playing. It's a small fucking minority amount of us. Most of us are people just like me. We work hard for a living. We got a family to raise. We believe in the company, the product, or whatever it is that we work for. And we just want to help people in the marketplace get rid of their problems by buying our product. And we just want to make a little money as the byproduct of that. We don't want to be greedy. We don't want to fuck anybody over, right? Like, we don't need $50 million in a year. Most of us just need a couple $100,000 and we'd be happier than a pig in fucking mud. So here's the thing. Make it about them. When nobody cares about people anymore. Social media is churning out narcissism left and right. Narcissists have podcasts that talk about sales. Like everything that makes it about ourselves. Like, we take a picture of what we had for lunch. We talk about our relationship, our life, what cool things we're doing, what drama's going on in our area. Everybody's in their own little fucking echo chamber. And if you'll just listen to somebody and make it about them and solving their problem instead of you and your bullshit product that really nobody gives a fuck about because they want the byproduct of the problem your product solves, that's when you make some money. But if you don't do that, then you blow sales because a lot of salespeople think they're special. You got a big ass paycheck. You walk around, cock of the walk, cocky motherfucker, got a 12-inch cock and a fucking 7-digit paycheck. Fuck you. This is who I am. And we think it's all about us. And then we don't fuck that guy. He didn't buy from me. But the problem was he would have bought from you, but you made it all about you and how awesome you are and how awesome your product is, and not that your product and the solution and the results and the experience they're going to get from using your product. Number 4, this is going to piss you guys off because a lot of you do it. You act like you don't do it. You ain't fooling me, motherfuckers. Number 4, you quit on the first objection. So when somebody says, I need to go talk to my wife, you're like, cool, let me hit you up tomorrow. You quit on the first objection, but let me challenge your thinking. Welcome to the Red Pill. This week's edition of the Red Pill, brought to you by Ryan Stewman, hardcorecloser.com. If you quit on the first objection, the red pill is the objections are buying signs. What? Fucking dude, objections are buying signs. If they are giving you objections instead of telling you no, that means they are still fucking interested. If they are giving you objections instead of saying no, that means that they are still on the fence about your product. Do not give up. Then it's time for you to press forward. You don't have to be a dick. You don't have to be overly aggressive or quote unquote a hardcore closer. Ask another question. Ask a thought-provoking, challenging question that might change their perspective. But objections are like trial closes on their end. Is this dude going to lay down? If he really believes in his product, he'll fucking sell me on it. If he really believes in his product, he'll sell me on it. Then you lay down. He's like, that product was shit. Good thing I fucking narrowly escaped that death trap. Meanwhile, the salesman's like, man, he just didn't want to buy. Dude, they're trial closes. It's a chess game between you and them because people have been mentally conditioned to fuck with salespeople because they think we all bang hookers, do blow, and are overpaid. Thanks a lot, movies. Thanks a lot, Hollywood. You're an asshole. I'm sure my book, Hardcore Closer, doesn't really contribute to the fucking cleaning up of that. But hey, listen, shit happens. All right. All right. So listen, don't quit on the first objection. Objection is a buying signal. Press forward. They want to be closed. If they're giving you objections, instead of saying no, they're like, bro, come at me, close me, bro. I'm fucking right here. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Number 5 is you believe their bullshit. Buyers are liars. It's nature. They don't mean to be deceitful. They don't mean to be harmful. They're just scared. Most buyers, most humans in general are like gazelles on the Serengeti. Y'all seen them when you sneak up behind them and you clap the motherfucker's face? Y'all seen that shit, right? Most people are like that. You sneak up on them in the middle of the night and yell, they're not going to turn around and slug you. They're going to fucking have a heart attack and fall out like a snowflake. So instead of being honest and being open and confronting things, what they do is they lie. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my partner. I need to have an internal conversation with a higher power or whatever the fuck it is, right? It's all a lie. It's a stalling mechanism to keep them from making a decision because people fear decisions. They fear good decisions. You see, all of people's lives, most people have made a series of bad decisions, so they are actually comfortable making bad decisions. And when a good decision comes along, they're not comfortable with making good decisions because most people haven't made a series of good decisions and it's extremely uncomfortable to them. So they flock to bad decisions yet are repelled from good decisions because that's how the universe gets you when you ain't living right. Ain't that some shit? So when they give you stall tactics, and they give you, I need to talk to my wife. I don't have the money. I need to talk to my partner. Payday's on Friday. I don't have the room on my credit card. We really need this, but XYZ. It's stall tactics because they're scared to make a good decision because they don't know what that feels like because they keep making dumb ones. That's just how it is. I'm a little passionate about that, right? And if you believe that, that's what causes you to blow a sale. You see, there's two people walking into the ring when you're putting on a presentation. There's two sides, right? There's you, the salesperson. There's them, the audience. And when you step into that ring with the audience to go into the marketplace mental battle that you're about to go into, that chess game that you're about to play with them, it is a simple competition between who has more confidence in themselves being right. Do you believe in your product more than they believe the bullshit they've been told about your product? Or do you believe them and the bullshit that they've been told about your product over your product? It is all a confidence game of who believes more, who believes in their side of that story more. It is no different than going into a court of law where you are going in there and you are trying to convince the jury of your side. They are trying to convince the jury of their side, and the person gets to make a decision in between. It is the same thing in every single sales conversation. And if you believe their bullshit, you will fall victim to it. And they will win every single time. You have to be the one that believes in your product more than they believe in their bullshit. And when that happens, that leads us to number 6. The 6th reason you are blowing sales most likely is that you don't properly ask for the business. You see, you believe their lies, you lay down at the first sale, and then you don't ask for their business. Most people say this is a bold move. They say, man, that's hardcore. But it's really not. They're actually wanting you to do what I'm about to tell you to do. The prospect wants it. Most people are scared to give it to them. But when someone says, hey, I need to talk to my partner, and you know it's the right decision, you think, well, what's your partner going to say? Well, you know, my partner, he may have a few questions. Awesome. Well, then let's get him on the phone and I can answer those questions for him as well. Well, you know, he'll probably be okay with it. Awesome. That's great. Well, then why don't I go ahead and take your credit card today? I'll send you the information. You can talk to your partner. And if he says no, then I'll just refund your money. Most people want that to happen. That's one less step in the process. And they're already committed. The chance, especially if their partner's not going to say no, not likely to say no anyway. But yet most salespeople go, okay, we'll talk to your partner and then get back to me. I always say, even when people come into my tribe, my $2,500 a month program for my consulting, I say, you know, hey, if you need to talk to your partner, that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and send you the information. You talk to him tonight, and tomorrow I'll expect to either A, hear from you with the objections your partner has, or B, see that you've made the payment and the commitment to be in here. Okay, Ryan, no problem. Pretty damn simple. I'm closing them on it regardless. I need to know tonight. I need to move forward. Your partner's not going to say no, right? All right, cool. I'm going to send you the stuff, and I expect first thing in the morning there to either be payment or an email in my inbox telling me exactly why your partner won't let you do this. I'm going to hold them accountable. That's what they want. I don't have a way to take credit cards. That's not what we do over here, or I would do that. I'm just giving you an example of what I do, because some of you can't take credit cards either over the phone. So I have to have somebody physically click a link. So I go ahead and send them the link and tell them I expect them to pay for it or give me the objection. That way I don't leave the window open. Okay, well, talk to your partner. That could be a fucking year from now. Hey, man, I'm expecting you to talk to your partner this afternoon. This is an important decision. I'm expecting you to either click the link, send me a payment in the morning, or send me an email telling me why you're not in. That's simple. Can you do that? Absolutely, Ryan. Cool. Same thing when people say that about their wife. Hey, I need to talk to my wife. Cool. Awesome. I'm going to send you the link. I expect in the morning you either tell me she said no or you to give me the payment. Is that cool? Well, I won't be able to talk to her for a couple of days. Why? She don't fucking live with you? Well, we got this other shit. No. Man up, man. I like people that are wanting to take action. You need to talk to her tonight. Let's make a move. While that sounds bold, that's what they want us to do, because that signifies I believe in my bullshit more than they believe in their bullshit. Can I get an amen? Number 6, you don't properly ask for the business. Man, a lot of people don't believe in going past the objection. In the example that I just gave you, following up with somebody and showing them that you believe more in them is huge. So let's recap the 6 top reasons you're blowing sales. Real quick, number 1 is you talk too much. Shut the fuck up, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen. The way to listen is to ask questions. Number 2, quit looking like that sweaty Dilbert used car salesman and quit overpromising. People smell bullshit from miles away. A good salesman will sell mediocre and deliver extraordinary. Remember that. A good salesman will sell mediocre and deliver extraordinarily. Number 3, make it about them. Man, you blow sales because you make shit about you. Make it about them. People go through their whole life not being paid attention to, not giving a fuck about. Make it about them, and they will make it about you. Number 4, don't quit on the first objection. That's a trial close on their end. Does he really believe what he's saying? We're about to find out. Don't do it. Which leads us into number 5, you believe in their bullshit. I got to talk to my wife. These are all stall tactics. Got to talk to my partner. I get paid on Friday. These are all stall tactics. Press forward. Show them that you're willing to move. Use the assumptive close. Do all that good shit. Number 6, make sure you ask for the business with confidence and very extreme clarity. A lot of people think they have been clear, and they have not. So here's the thing. Be sure to text THC podcast to 44222. You can get on the Elevator to the Top book. We're giving the book away for free. If you just want to go to elevatortothetop.com, that's cool as well. You can get my book. It's absolutely free in paperback. It's elevatortothetop.com. I don't know how many copies are left, and when you're listening to this in the future, but we ordered 5,000 copies, so have at it. You better get over there and get them quick. If you want to connect with me on social media, do so at clixo.com/closer, CLYXO.com/closer. And hey, man, let me get some of them reviews. You know what I'm talking about? Let me get some of them 5-star reviews, y'all. Hook a brother up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some of them fucking 5-star reviews over there on iTunes, man. Don't forget about me, y'all. I brought it on this episode. Make sure you share it with somebody and invite them to the show for next week. We'll see you then. Later.